Hi, this is Burns Hargis. Go Pokes.
We are ready to cut the ribbon on the finest football facility in America.
Hi, this is Burns Hargis. Go Pokes.
We are ready to cut the ribbon on the finest football facility in America.
This is Burns Hargis saying, Go Pokes.
Go Pokes.
Go Pokes.
Go Pokes.
All right, welcome everyone. Hello. All right, welcome everyone to historic Gallagher-Iba Arena as we celebrate a truly historic couple for Oklahoma State University. Isn't that right? Let's hear it for the Hargises. We want to treat this as a pep rally because so many amazing things happened on their watch, and we are so proud that they have been our leaders on this campus. So the most dynamic couple OSU has ever had, there's no doubt about it. So we are so grateful for all of you, all of our guests for being here, including our regents, state officials, OSU leadership, and of course our speakers that you'll hear from up here on stage as we celebrate President Burns and First Cowgirl and Hargis. We're going to get right to it. I'm proud to introduce our first speaker this afternoon, Mr. Rick Davis, Chairman of the OSU A&M Board of Regents. Mr. Davis has served the OSU A&M Regent since 2011, and we are forever in your debt, sir, for your loyal service. In his free time, Chairman Davis is also managing general partner of Davis Farms and Dimmitt Hay. Please join me in welcoming Regent Rick Davis.
Thank you, Larry, and thank the Cowboy family for all showing up today. It means I know a lot to Burns and Ann, and I know you join me in wishing them the best as they move forward in their lives. Mr. President, it is my privilege today on behalf of our board and in fact the entire Cowboy family, to say thank you for the incredibly transformative tenure that you have experienced here. And I know you well enough to say that it might be a little embarrassing at times today, but we are here to celebrate the very fact that I just mentioned, that you are such a transformative leader for our institution. You know, much has been said about what Burns and Ann have done during their tenure here, and in the nearly 13 years, a lot's been focused on how they've changed the face of our institution, and the focus has been on the facilities and the upgrade. And just an hour ago, we were at the McKnight Center and recognizing the vision and passion that the Ferguson family has come together with to begin our new program at the Division of Agriculture. It's those kinds of things that wouldn't happen without leadership like you, and we so much appreciate that. But the face of the institution should get all the attention. To me, I think it's more important how he's kind of changed the soul of the institution, the spirit, and he kind of did that one cowboy at a time, in my opinion. I personally believe that his greatest achievement, the thing that's the most long-lasting achievement, and what his true legacy will be as our leader, is the way he changed the way we perceive ourselves. He challenged us not to accept second best. He instilled in us, I think, a pride for our culture, for our principles, and a willingness to go about and set our expectations much higher than they'd ever been set before. That OSU family mindset and that confidence where it is now, I think has put us on an entirely different trajectory of success, Burns, and we're grateful for that. Now, we know that you didn't achieve this alone, and that's why we wanted to recognize Ann today, of course, as well. You understand, I hope, how beloved you are on our campus. I venture to say that everyone in this audience, in their own way, could give instances or example of the way Ann has touched the lives of some student that they know. It might just be a small thing, just a greeting. But it's amazed me, Ann, how you can, in fact, act like 25,000 students are your own children. And that's exactly the way you seem to approach it every day, and we're grateful for that. So with that being said, Burns and Ann, thank you. I want to tell you thank you from our board, from the Cowboy family, for your leadership. I personally thank you for your friendship. It means a great deal. Go Pokes.
Thank you, Regent Davis. Great words. We are honored to have a special member of the Cowboy family with us today, a 1996 loyal and true OSU alum. Is also the founder, former chairman, and CEO of Gateway Mortgage Group. Please welcome the governor of the great state of Oklahoma, Kevin Stitt.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Man, it is always fun to come back to Stillwater. Like many of you that graduated from here, we have so many great memories from our days in college, and man, I'm so happy to be a Cowboy. Go Pokes! You know, Burns and Ann, thank you so much for your dedication over the last 13 years. When I think about Burns, he is such a true gentleman. And I met him for the first time as at a function there in Tulsa many years ago, and heard him speak, and just love his stories. And as I've got to know him better since becoming governor, love the stories about your quail hunting with Boone Pickens, especially. Okay, how competitive he was. I wish I was there with you guys on that. But something he doesn't know, he's made a huge impact on our administration in the state. Most people don't know this, but when Burns ran for governor back in 1990, he had a young up-and-comer campaign driver. The guy that drove him around on the campaign was a guy named Bon Payne. And Burns didn't win the election, but he made a huge impact on this young man. And fast forward 30 years, that staffer is now my chief of staff, making huge impacts in the state of Oklahoma. And so I think about that. the seeds that Burns planted 30 years ago on that young person is impacting our state, probably more than Burns or any of us realize what's happening when we invest in young people. And now I think about how many OSU students that will have similar stories from 30 years from now. Which future governor, which future senator or congressperson is going to remember the lessons they learned while they were in Stillwater at Oklahoma State learning under this guy. So thanks to his leadership, also OSU has seen more than 50,000 new freshmen enrolled during his 13 years at the helm. This is also amazing what he's done on the fundraising front. He's brought in more than 81,000 new donors and raised $2.15 billion in private support. And Boone Pickens, he would always say that athletics is the front porch to a university. But as an OSU grad from the class of 1996, President Hargis has not just renovated the front porch, but the entire house. And let me tell you, I believe it's one of the best houses in the country. So congratulations once again on your tenure at OSU. I'm so proud of what you've done for my alma mater, but also for the entire state of Oklahoma. So Oklahoma State will always be in your debt. And now that you're a free agent, if Ann ever wants to kick you out of the house, I've got plenty of work in the state government. So just give me a call. I'll put you to work in state government, okay? So thank you guys all for being here and honoring my good friend Burns and Ann. God bless you, and God bless Oklahoma State.
Thank you, Governor Stitt. We also have another special dignitary joining us this afternoon who is also a loyal and true cowboy. He has served as the U.S. representative for Oklahoma's 3rd Congressional District since 2003. He also represented the 6th District from 94 to 2003. He serves on the House Committee on Financial Services and as a ranking member of the House Committee on Science, Space, and Technology. Please help me welcome home U.S. Representative Frank Lucas.
Thank you, Larry. And first and foremost, thank you, Burns and Ann. I've thought for several days about our interaction down through the years in anticipation of this day. Now, at a little event earlier today, I must confess to you, the Dean of Division of Agriculture, Dr. Kuhn, questioned me about my grade point. Apparently there's still some confusion there. And being the ever-efficient manager, President Hargis said, "Have you been by to clean up that little bill at the bursar's office?" A tightly run organization, always, Mr. President. But I have to discuss with all of you today the first time that I sat down and had a conversation with the person who would ultimately become the president of our university. Back in 1990, I was a member of the State House of Representatives. And much to the surprise of many, after a couple of tries, I'd ultimately been elected. I got a call one day from Burns who said, "I'm working on this little project. I want to talk to you about it. I'll come to wherever I need to come to talk to you about it." Sounds like soliciting money for the foundation, doesn't it? But anyway, he came to Cheyenne, Oklahoma. And we had the most amazing and wonderful discussion. The first time that I'd ever have a chance to sit down and visit with Burns, and Burns' wit, and Burns' personality, and Burns' insight, his way of analyzing things. I said to Burns, you know, in that day and time, being a Republican governor was a challenging thing because your mentor and my mentor was finishing his 2nd term, Henry Bellman, a proud graduate of this wonderful institution with a building named after him, as is only appropriate, former ranking member of the Senate Budget Committee. And I said, "Burns, you won't be in control of the legislature. the way things work, it'll take 6, 8, 9 years to get control of most of the agencies. You realize this is going to be a tough challenge. And he looks at me and he says, "Now, Representative, I'm an oil field kid. I went to a number of schools as I was growing up with my parents. I was redheaded, I was skinny, I was an Irishman. I had to fight for my life every day." Do you remember that? And the impression he made on me that day has only grown. Now, some would say that we as Oklahomans missed out perhaps on a great opportunity in 1990. I don't doubt that for a single moment. But I will note this. If Burns' a bit of disappointment on that particular evening meant that we got 13 years of him as the president of Oklahoma State University, then I think it's fair to say his mark on this institution, on the lives of people in this state, the legacy that he leaves behind and all the things that he's done with work and working with everyone here, that's still a mission successfully filled, sir.
I'll trade anything.
Now, I will admit to you, Burns, I'm married to a mildly strong-willed woman who has a very focused eye. But that could be Ann, couldn't it? You've been a very fortunate man. See? So let me simply say, all the things that you've accomplished in your tenure here, the institution that you leave in better, dramatically better stead than you found it, all the lives that are changed, all of those things. I'm proud of what you've done. And I suspect if he were here today, your old friend and my old friend Henry Bellman would be proud of you too. Thank you, Mr. President, for being what you are. And Ann, for molding him just a little bit the way you always have.
Thank you, Congressman Lucas. The Hargises have made such an impact on our campus these 13 years. They flew by the way. And no one can attest to that impact more than our students. Today, we're pleased to have two campus leaders here to share what the Hargises' leadership has meant to them. Student Government Association President Jaden Cassitz is a senior mechanical engineering and mathematics major from Wichita, Kansas, and Luke Muller serves as Student Government Association Vice President. He is a senior plant and soil science and agribusiness major from Altus, Oklahoma. Please join me in welcoming Jaden and Luke.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. It is true that Luke and I are here representing students, and after the announcement of the retirement of our President and First Lady, we did as much as we could to poll every single student on the future of our university and what they wanted it to look like. And I think it speaks volumes to say that not a single negative thing was said about our current leadership, and even in fact, they wanted us to pursue and keep going with some of the programs that they had, and they had nothing but fantastic things to say about you both, and I can say that with complete confidence. It's not uncommon to see the President and First Lady walking around on campus, and I know quite a few of my friends have taken a couple of secret photos trying to show everyone about how open and honest and transparent they are, constantly walking on our campus, saying hello, remembering the names of students. It means a lot to us. I will also say that not every single university president lets students into their homes. We've had the privilege of being at the Wilhelm House several times throughout our college career, and every single time there's just excited hush amongst all the students about how happy they are to be there and how happy they are to talk to our President and First Lady. And I know it touched my own heart hearing our First Lady say that she was also interested in math. I remember being a freshman and thinking that's the best thing I've ever heard. But they take the time to reach out to every single student, to shake their hand, to ask them who they are, where they're from, and where they're going. And that means a lot to me, and it means a lot to all of our students. But I also will say that at those dinners, they've been known to stand up there and allow students to ask whatever question they might have. And as you can imagine, those questions get a little bit interesting sometimes, but they are always there and willing to have a conversation, and that's something that I really appreciate as well. And I think it's Brene Brown who says that leadership is about finding, seeking out the potential in people and places, and having the courage to develop it. And I will say that both our president and first cowgirl have sought out the potential in not only me and Luke, but countless students over the years, and really taken the time to get to know them and see where they're going in the future. But they've also seen the potential in OSU and where it could be in the future. And that speaks volumes. I think we are on a trajectory that OSU is just gaining momentum over and over and over throughout the course of the future. And that's no doubt due in part to them. So thank you both for your service, from me, from Luke, and from all of our students. We are very, very grateful for everything that you've done. And I'll let Luke take it from there.
So over and over in the last couple months, we've had conversations of the programs that the President and First Cowgirl have implemented and the transformative facelift that they've made to our university. But I think the one thing that we pride ourselves on that the governor and the congressman have referenced multiple times, and even in athletics, is the culture that we here have at Oklahoma State. There's the intangible thing of looking at people and the home that you have when you walk on this campus. The amount of students that I've talked to over the past couple of years while I've been here is there was a difference when they stepped on campus with the people, whether that was faculty, staff, students, up to administration, and all the way up to the president's office. And I think that's the biggest pride that we have as Oklahomans and as Oklahoma State Cowboys and Cowgirls. And they have developed that since day one. I know for me, when I came off my farm in western Oklahoma, wide-eyed, bushy-tailed, didn't have a lick of sense of what I was going to do with my life. And I came up here, and during orientation, President Hargis addressed a group, and he said, I would encourage every single one of you to go on a study abroad trip and to make the world your oyster. And that hit home with me. I'd never been able to take part in something like that, and because of scholarships that Oklahoma State had provided, I was able to do that, and that completely changed my outlook and perspective. And President Hargis and First Cowgirl Ann, you've done that for countless people, whether that be students, faculty, staff, administrators. You've changed their perspective and what it means to be a person and a worldwide citizen. And I cannot thank you enough for my own personal story of how you've impacted me, and not just looking at the numbers, whether that be funding or a new building, but looking at a person and making sure they're reaching the goals that they want for the betterment of our state and our world. Thank you so much, and go Pokes.
Nicely done, Jaden and Luke. Great words. Our next two speakers, of course, need no introduction, but I'm here for introductions. So let me brag on them for just a minute. First of all, President Hargis, I remember the first time we really interacted on a major basis was when we were trying to raise money for a new football stadium. You were a regent, but you were also on the volunteer cadre. And that cadre and all of our donors that helped with that, I mean, they started this momentum that carried on not only in athletics, but over to campus. And we'll talk a little bit about that. But Burns Hargis has served as our 18th president of Oklahoma State University and the OSU system since March 2008. He is only the second alum to be our president, by the way. To say his leadership has transformed this university is an understatement. Just listen to some of these numbers. The governor might have stole a little bit of my thunder here, but it's worth repeating if I repeat a number or two here. $2.2 billion in private support and the addition of 82,000 donors. More than 50,000 new freshmen and double the out-of-state freshman enrollment. In fact, we have had 5 of our largest freshman classes during your presidency. Unbelievable. Our minority enrollment has grown by 139%. The campus has been transformed with a construction boom that I mentioned earlier in academics, in student life, athletics, and the arts. Just this afternoon, we hosted the formal groundbreaking ceremony for the new Frontiers Agricultural Hall. It's going to be amazing. The Hargis' vision made possible our beautiful formal gardens and multiple installations of public art across campus, a visual, accessible, and enduring aspect of their legacy. You'll notice I said there, because when President Hargis took the role, we got 2 leaders. We got a 2-for-1. Heck of a deal. Mrs. Hargis has been a tireless ambassador for OSU. We have seen her meeting with students, parents, and riding on Clementine across campus, giving a tour, or perhaps on her way to yet another meeting. Her energy is boundless. It's unbelievable the amount of energy she has. And speaking of her energy, Ann has been a nonstop champion of wellness for OSU. She, along with Scruff, created one of OSU's most beloved initiatives when she formed Pete's Pet Posse, the nation's most comprehensive university pet therapy program. More than 100 dogs and handler teams have been trained since the program began, providing comfort and stress release across every OSU campus. It's pretty special. Yesterday at the Women for OSU Symposium, a $200,000 endowment was announced that will continue to support the great work of Pete's Pet Posse. That is awesome. This legacy will bless students and employees for years to come. Great job. I think we can sum it up by saying that you two have been the leaders in the most transformative period in OSU history. That's pretty special right there. So congratulations and thank you for all that you've done. And OSU has been blessed by the Hargises. Please join me in welcoming this dynamic duo to the microphone, Burns and Ann, our president and first cowgirl.
Thank you. Woo.
I know. There's a bunch of them. Oh, they turned on a little bit, right?
Thank you so much. I mean, this is like going to your own funeral, where everybody says such nice things about you. I've gone to funerals and I'm at the wrong funeral. That's not the guy I knew.
Pack of lies, pack of lies. It is so wonderful to be here and to see so many friends. I mean, we can't see faces, but we can see spots of people. But to be in the company of our band, our cheer squad, the students, Pistol Pete, I mean, this is a first for us. We have not been around this kind of energy for a long time, so I just kind of want to stay and take all of this energy in. Yeah, it's back to normal in so many ways.
I do appreciate all the kind words, and the governor, winning the governorship the first time is not easy. I'm living proof of that. And yeah, you know, when I started my campaign, it was a year in front of the election. Nobody knew who I was. And we started at Shoney's Restaurant in Broken Arrow. And I had these push cards they have, and it has a really beautiful picture of your family, always with a dog. It's usually not your dog, because your dog's too ugly. They have dogs, so you use for this. And a pretty inflated description of your background. And so I timidly went in and just a restaurant at breakfast time, and I went over these 4 guys eating biscuits and gravy, and I said, "Excuse me, but I'm Burns Hargis, and I'm running for governor." And this guy looked up, as God is my judge, he said, "We've already got a governor." So then after I lost, we didn't lose, I lost. And 94 came around, and I was running again, and I said, I'm not going to be running into those guys again. I don't want to run. And somebody said, "Burns, Abraham Lincoln ran 6 times before he won." And I said, "Yeah, and he got shot."
With
Yeah,
that, if I can turn this on, I guess I'm in charge of turning this on. All right.
Wait a minute, I want to say something about Frank Lucas.
Okay.
Lucas ran early. He ran in a special election. And I had him on Flashpoint. Mike Turpin and I had him on Flashpoint. And I said, "But what's that kid from rancher from Cheyenne, Oklahoma? How are you going to handle Congress?" And he said, "Are you kidding? I've got a wife, a daughter, and 500 mother cows. I can handle those guys."
I love it. All right, so we wanted to ask a few questions, and I think in hindsight, we should have set this up like the newlywed game. We should have put headphones on one of you, sent you behind the stage, see if we match it up, but we blew that opportunity. Maybe at another time, but this one's for you, Ann. What will you miss most about being First Cowgirl?
Well, I definitely will miss the students and the enthusiasm. And I mean, how about the two speakers we had today? Are they not so poised?
Yeah.
So just the ability to be around all that energy and hope for the future, I think it's going to be tremendously missed. Yeah.
All right. You can come around anytime you want, by the way. All right. Burns, what is one of your top highlights? One of your top highlights is your time as president.
Sprinkling the campus. I mean, I know that's it, but it was a big deal. We didn't have a sprinkler system. We were pulling hoses around.
We were tripping over hoses.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, it kind of starts with that. But that stadium back there was incredible. I mean, all the fantastic people we've met all over the world that are OSU alums, all that's been great. And probably if I had to point to one night, one event that kind of summed up that we'd made it, it was that night with the McKnight Center and the New York Philharmonic.
Oh, yeah. That was a great night. And how about one of your favorite memories?
Well, my favorite memories, of course, are centered now around the pet therapy program and the value that we bring, the joy that we bring, and the depth of what this program brings. I think that everybody came in a different entrance, but I believe everybody in here at least saw one of the therapy dogs. I have no idea how many we have here today, and I think they're up on a level somewhere. I just want to give recognition wherever. Those are great memories, and thank all of you for volunteering your time to be here.
All right, Burns, we talked about the extraordinary accomplishments under your watch, but did you accomplish everything you wanted to when you became president?
Oh, no.
I mean, you got the sprinkler system.
Yeah, I got that done.
Important, yeah.
It took a couple of years, but we did get it done. No, there's still so much to do. And you know who's going to get it done?
Who's that?
The next president, Casey Trump.
Right there. President Trump and the first cowboy coming up, Aaron.
So I've got a long list for her.
Okay, I want to interrupt because I have something to do right now.
Uh-oh.
This may not be the best time.
No, it's a perfect time.
It fits in. We all know that we have rainy days and we all are flexible. So I have brought my very favorite raincoat, which is bright orange, which cheers up every rainy day. When it rains, I go, oh, good, it's raining. I get to wear my orange raincoat. I want to give this to Casey, symbolic of happiness in rainy days.
Love it. That was perfect. That was perfect timing.
Darren, I have your kilts. No, I forgot them.
All right. So, Ann, I think you kind of answered this. One of your proudest accomplishments. So, is it the pet
Keeping
posse?
Burns in line.
Yes. Yes. I'm going to put you on the spot. Is there something you won't miss about being first cowgirl?
Oh, yeah, but we're not talking.
All right, I'll leave you alone on that one. So I understand. All right, so how about to wrap it up on the questions, and then you guys can make your comments. Mr. President, what will you miss most about being the president of your alma mater?
Well, in some ways you're omnipotent, in other ways you're just impotent. And it's kind of learning which one's which, and it takes a while. I love to tell the story. We hadn't been here very long, and I went to work out at the Colvin Center, and for some reason my card wouldn't work. And so the girl at the desk, I said, look, I'll go work out and then I'll fix this when I get to the office. She said, I can't let you in. And I said, okay. So I went home and I said, I thought you were going to work out. She wouldn't let me in. So we get to the office and I said, don't get her in trouble. She just was doing her job, but we got to figure this out. And, you know, well, somebody talked, because the next time we went in, there were these two huge portraits of ends in my picture, right by it's like, don't take a check from these people, you know. That's got a deal. So anyway, it's good to learn a little humility, the whole thing.
Oh, wait, I want to tell my humility story. I keep going back to the dogs, and I'm sorry, but a couple weeks ago, Burns and I were out on a Sunday afternoon just walking our dog Scruff without his pet posse therapy clothes on. And we passed a student who said, may I pet your dog? And I said, sure, of course. And he knelt down, he started petting the dog, and he said, what's your dog's name? And I said, Scruff. And I said, he's part of our pet therapy program on campus. And the student said, oh, Pete's Pet Posse? And I said, yes. And then I said, what's your name? He said, Jonathan. And he looked at Burns and me and he said, what are your names?
Yeah, that was last Sunday.
It was.
And those vests have, say, ask to pet me, I'm friendly. And I want one of those vests. And you will too, Casey. You'll want one of those vests. But we just want to thank everybody for coming and really for just all the state government officials, the federal officials, all the donors, the alumni, many of whom are donors, the Board of Regents, who have been very supportive through it all. Of course, the faculty and the staff are great, especially the staff that work in our office. I'll just mention Debbie Lane and Melissa Meredith and Mary Smith and Gary Clark, to whom we owe a great deal.
And Kendria Cost.
And Kendria Cost, and she's your staff. And then we're going to miss the students. I mean, I want to thank the students. They have done so much. I had a president who had been president for many years tell me, if you really get frustrated and down, just wait till the change of classes and go out and walk around. And you're going to come back invigorated from the energy and just the craziness that goes on campus. I mean, that guy on a skateboard with a cup of coffee and talking on the phone, it's just wonderful. There's not a greater place on the face of the earth than to be at a university, and we're gonna be coming back fairly regularly, and we'll be a little involved, but not near as much as we have been, and we'll miss that. But I just want to say to the students, you're the reason we're here. We don't have any professors or researchers if there weren't students before that. So it all starts with the students, and I think it's important that every president always keep the students at the front of mind. Thanks again, and go Pokes.
Yeah. Aren't they just the best? I mean, they are the best, no doubt. Thank you for everything. And now, I know you all just sat down, but we've got to end this function, and we want everybody to stick around and mingle and be able to thank the Hargises in person and just enjoy this time. But we always end with our alma mater, because we're Oklahoma State. So if everyone would please rise, we'll have our alma mater. for Burns and Ann. They're the best. Thank you both. Stick around and talk to the Hargises. Go Pokes.